From Antarctica to the Great Pyramids to an insane asylum, bands have performed in some pretty bizarre venues over the years.
Somebody told me you people are crazy, but I'm not so sure about that.
But few concerts have captured the imagination of the internet more than the Denny's Grand Slam. Back in 2013, a band known as Live Without performed in a venue once thought unperformable, that being a Denny's diner. They did the impossible, momentarily turning a restaurant with the aesthetic of a retirement home into a hardcore venue one might find in a seedier part of town. The Grand Slam has become the stuff of legend, but how did this mythical concert come to be, and why was it thrown in the first place? Well, I sat down with the band behind the concert and got the answers to those questions.
And it was so packed. It was like one of the coolest things that had ever happened. Just in that little moment as we were as a band, it was like there were so many kids there. It was so much fun.
This is the story of the Denny's Grand Slam. I want to give a big thanks to Cometeer for sponsoring today's video. Cometeer is brewed coffee, flash frozen, and delivered right to your front door at the peak of freshness. This is how it works. Simply pop open one of their capsules. This is the Bell Dark Blend coffee. We'll use this capsule for the demo. All you gotta do is pop out this frozen little coffee puck into a cup, hit it with some hot water, and bam! You got a fresh and delicious cup of coffee.
Damn. It's like being in a coffee house. That's 10 out of 10 right there, boys.
If you're an iced coffee enthusiast, Cometeer's capsules work for that too, and you can put them into a K-Cup machine as well. Cometeer uses coffee brewed from around the country, flash frozen only moments after being brewed. That's what really locks in that freshness and makes Cometeer a uniquely novel coffee experience. On their website, you'll find plenty of different Cometeer brew options, from a mix of medium blends to dark blends and maybe just a mixed box if you don't know what you like. They even have a decaf box on there for any of you folks like me who have to limit their caffeine intake. For a very limited time, Cometeer is offering a huge discount of 40% off your first purchase plus free shipping when you use my code WavyWeb40 at checkout at cometeer.com/WavyWeb. Order today. You don't want to miss out on this one, guys. And with that, let's get on to the video. To begin the Denny's Grand Slam story, I reckon I'll introduce you to the guys who orchestrated the slam itself, the band known as Live Without.
I'm Matt, I'm the guitarist. This is Zane.
I'm Zane, I'm the drummer in said video.
Chris, I am the vocalist and coined the term.
What's up? What the fuck's up, Denny's?
The band's bass player, Aaron Hughes, he couldn't make it to the interview, but this is him right here. In the iconic footage, you can see Matt, the guitarist here, Zane, the drummer here, Aaron Hughes here, and the famed What the Fuck Is Up Denny's vocalist, Chris, right here. But let's pull back from the famous footage for a moment. Where exactly did Live Without get the idea to throw a hardcore show in an extremely inappropriate venue in the first place? Well, believe it or not, stuff like this has happened before. Vocalist Chris and drummer Zane actually cite two prior restaurant concerts as inspiration for the Grand Slam. One concert took place in a Portland Burgerville location in 2012 and another at an Omaha, Nebraska Wendy's in 2008.
A band called Expire played at Burgerville in Portland. Burgerville is Whataburger of Portland, but they played in a Burgerville. And it was a functioning Burgerville that was open, and there were customers in there while the show was happening in the restaurant.
I was very inspired by a different band that played in a restaurant.
You're right,
Like-
you're right. We're gonna get fucking...
In like 07, there's this band called Left by Left, I don't know. They played Wendy's, and I saw that shit and never forgot it. And I was like, I'm gonna do this someday, somewhere. And it ended up being the Denny's thing.
Being big fans of the Burgerville and Wendy's shows, the Live Without band collectively toyed around with the idea that if they were ever presented with an opportunity to do their own in-restaurant show, they would heed the call. And you really do need a golden opportunity to present itself, because contrary to what you might think, throwing a concert in a fast food restaurant or a diner isn't the easiest endeavor. Sure, you could attempt to bum rush a McDonald's with a few bands and a legion of fans and try to put on a show, but chances are you're gonna almost immediately get kicked out and at worst get arrested for trespassing. You have to get lucky in order to pull something like this off. Well, in 2013, the band caught a big break, with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity falling into their lap one evening while eating a meal at their local Denny's restaurant on Highway 6 in Houston, Texas.
We were just eating there and literally just overheard that they were like going to be going out of business or whatever. And we literally just asked them, like, if you just ask them and then they're like, oh yeah, they kind of like thought about it for a second. We're like, yeah, we'd be kind of like, we wouldn't be opposed to that.
So you asked them in person after eating there?
Yeah. They were just going out of business, and then they had a week where it was like a week or two where like the Denny's was going to be unoccupied. So it's not like a working Denny's, but that's like kind of the meme is like, can you imagine you're eating a waffle and you look over and you see this shit?
So after hearing the Denny's staff members discussing how the restaurant was going to close soon, they simply got up from their table and asked management if they could throw a concert in the in the restaurant after it was closed down. And surprisingly, not only did the owner agree, they allowed them to do it for free. This has got to be the most chill and freaking like homiest Denny's of all time. With the Denny's owners giving them permission, the band acted fast to promote their dream concert, naturally dubbed the Denny's Grand Slam. They created promotional flyers, advertised the event on Facebook, and texted every friend they could think of in the hopes of getting a big turnout. The fruits of their labor would be revealed on the night of May 18th of 2013, the night of the Denny's Grand Slam.
When we showed up to like start setting up for the show, it still smelled like a Grand Slam in there, and you could still, you could still taste it in the air. It was like, man.
Yeah, the Denny's was for the most part gutted, and there was just a few things left over that they were gonna still come and take, but they were pretty much ready to like get rid of the building, and like that left a lot of room for the crowd and instruments and all that. So
everything was going perfectly. Dozens of fans began filing in, and the stage was set right next to the Denny's kitchen door. An appropriate location is set up as each person in attendance was about to be served the most hardcore Grand Slam of their life. The concert begins, and it's absolutely bonkers.
The booths were still there, and there were people. I remember, like, if you call it stage diving, they were stage diving, like just so much.
Diving. Off the booth.
Yeah, it was so packed. It was like one of the coolest things that had ever happened. Just in that little moment, as we were as a band, it was like there were so many kids there. It was so much fun.
Thus far, the Denny's Grand Slam was going great. It was a hilariously badass spectacle. But the event would truly become legendary after the group's vocalist Chris uttered the following string of words.
What's up? What's up? What the fuck's up, Denny's?
I knew I wanted to put something there that was going to let people know that, like, yo, it's time.
What the fuck is up, Denny's? It's a string of words probably never before uttered in human history at that point in time. A phrase that not only perfectly summarized the absolute absurdity of the event, but also served as a reminder to those in attendance that, bro, you're really part of something special right now. We're having a hardcore show inside of a Denny's, for Christ's sake.
It just kind of rolled off as I was almost in the mindset of being like, what's up, bitch? What's up? You know what I mean? Like, so that's where it kind of started. And I was like, oh no, we're at Denny's, dude. I gotta say.
What the fuck's up, Denny's?
So then when the line came out, so what's up? What's up? What the fuck is up, Denny's? After that line, there are so many people on this earth that think that I say circle pit. And that is so fucking infuriating because why would you call for a circle pit at that point in the song? It's so dumb. Like if they and a lot of
suck dick. Is that what you're talking about?
And a lot of people have dug in and actually found the lyrics and actually know what I'm saying there. But the next lyric in the song is "It's time to quit."
The Denny's Grand Slam was a massive success and went on without a hitch. A little over $100 was raised by the band, which they actually offered to the Denny's owner as a thanks for allowing them to perform at the closed down restaurant.
I remember thinking after the show, I was just like, this is great. Yeah. This is something I'm never gonna forget. And then
and the internet won't let us forget it.
Footage of the Grand Slam would be uploaded to YouTube a day after the event. The most well-known footage was actually recorded by Matt the guitarist's wife, Courtney, and this footage was published to the Live Without YouTube channel. Though the Grand Slam video didn't go viral immediately, rather the event sort of became this legendary tall tale that was passed around in the Houston, Texas hardcore scene.
Well, see, so like the what the fuck is up Denny shit lived in our group. Our small little group as an inside joke for
we're repeating that just between each other for multiple times.
But the fabled Grand Slam wouldn't remain a local tall tale forever. As in 2018, approximately 5 years after the show, Matt's wife Courtney tweeted out an abbreviated version of the Denny's Grand Slam to her Twitter account. This clipped down version starts off with Chris the vocalist's famous Mosh callout.
What's up? What the fuck's up, Denny's?
Needless to say, Chris's Denny's proclamation was made into a meme, and this perfectly packaged glimpse into the Denny's Grand Slam concert went viral, garnering thousands of retweets and tens of thousands of likes. And around the same time, someone had also uploaded an abbreviated version of the Denny's Grand Slam to YouTube, which also started blowing up. The Live Without boys were finally getting the clout they deserve for putting on such a legendary performance. And the boys found themselves internet legends practically overnight.
The thing that I would like to point out about this show is that we're not trying to be like, I don't know, we're the greatest fucking band ever. You need to watch our band. This is all about us. Like, this was just a moment that happened and people picked it up, and that's great. And the real thing that people like about this is like the whole DIY aspect of throwing your own show wherever the fuck you want to do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if
absolutely.
you want to go like ask your local skate shop or fucking
just fucking ask,
whatever.
dude.
Yeah,
Just-
it does. It
just
never
ask.
hurts to ask. If you're a young or even not a young band out there,
Or even an old band, specifically an old
like,
band.
like trying to throw a show, just somebody.
Just try, dude.
It doesn't have to be a restaurant. It doesn't have to be anything. Just whatever you think you can pull off, just give it a shot. Like
move on
Wayne
to the next
Gretzky and Michael Scott said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Fuck yes, bro. And that's a rundown on the history of the Houston, Texas Denny's Grand Slam. But the legacy of Denny's Grand Slams doesn't end here and actually gets a little crazier.
2019.
This is Bryson Del Valle, punk enthusiast and big-time fan of the What the Fuck is Up Denny's meme. Inspired by Live Without's 2013 Denny's Grand Slam, Bryson hatched a plan to throw a Denny's Grand Slam of his own in Santa Ana, California. His dream was to have it headlined by a local favorite punk band called Wacko. So Bryson calls up the Denny's location on Bristol Street in Santa Ana and asks the manager if he could reserve the banquet room for a show. In case you were wondering, this is what a Denny's banquet room looks like. So the Denny's manager takes the call, doesn't really ask all too many questions, and decides to accept the reservation as long as Bryson is willing to put a down payment up. You know, manager probably thought there'd be like a dozen or so people for some kind of small performance. However, accepting this reservation would be a costly mistake, at least for Denny's. Keep in mind that this Denny's we're talking about is fully operational, not closing down like the one in Houston, Texas back in 2013. So after getting the okay from Denny's management, Bryson tells his friends about the show, gets Wacko on board, and a handful of other bands to agree to perform. There were hundreds of punk fans around town expressing interest in attending this Denny's Grand Slam event slated for December 14th. It's impossible to say how many people actually attended this wacko Denny's Grand Slam, but taking just a cursory look at the footage, you can tell it's way more than the Denny's management expected it to be. This wacko Grand Slam was like the Live Without Grand Slam on steroids. It was absolute chaos. Video of the concert shows dozens upon dozens of folks crammed into this small banquet room, some standing and jumping on booths and tables, others knocking around ceiling lamps, all while normal Denny's patrons are outside in the main dining area trying to enjoy a meal while this crazy concert's going on. It was absolute mayhem. Denny's management, realizing the egregious mistake they had made, tried to get people to leave and actually ended up calling police to make that happen. Police would arrive at the location approximately 20 minutes after the show had kicked off, giving Wacko just enough time to perform a set.
Get the fuck out of here!
Surprisingly, nobody was arrested, but there were consequences for the kid who booked the show, Bryson. Bryson was reportedly hit with an $1,800 bill for damages caused to the booths and light fixtures. $1,800 is a lot of money for a seemingly broke 17-year-old kid that was just trying to have some fun. However, his saving grace was that by this point, there were videos of this on the internet and they were going viral, and people were already labeling this, the ultimate second coming of the Denny's Grand Slam. For lack of a better expression, people thought this was fucking awesome. Naturally, a GoFundMe page was created to help Bryson foot the bill. A GoFundMe page that Green Day, yes, the actual band Green Day, would donate $2,000 to. And with that $2,000 on board, all debts would be paid and another Grand Slam was in the history books. Now, I'm personally a fan of the original Houston, Texas Grand Slam, as it was far more cleaner in execution. The Denny's itself was closed and there weren't any restaurant workers or patrons being griefed while the concert was going on. It's kind of lame that the Wacko show resulted in damages and potentially had some minimum wage workers picking up the pieces after this thing was over. I'm not certain that's the case or anything, but you know what I'm saying? But with that said, I want to say this. It sure is fitting with Wacko being a punk rock band that the Grand Slam they were featured in went out in such a chaotic fashion. And what did the godfathers of the Grand Slam, Live Without, have to say about Wacko's interpretation of their formula?
Shout out, baby.
Yeah, it was.
What's up, Wacko?
Wish I could have been there, honestly. I wish I could have been at that show. That shit looked insane. There were so many people inside that small ass.
And Wacko is so fucking good, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
The original Denny's Grand Slam will likely continue to intrigue the internet for many years to come. Their performance has captured the imagination of millions, showing aspiring bands out there that anywhere, no matter how seemingly mundane, can be made into an epic venue. Even the most unremarkable locations are capable of hosting legendary shows that will be discussed for decades to come.
What's up? What's up? What the fuck's up, Denny's?
And that is the story of the Denny's Grand Slam. Really important message here. I want to thank the guys from Live Without for their contributions to this video. It really meant a lot for them to come on. For the viewers out there, you can support me by supporting them. These guys have an in-house shirt printing business where they create their own designs, print their own merch. You should check it out. Matt, the guitarist stuff, can be found at deepcutsclothing.com, the only store where you can find Elden Ring sweatpants and these shirts with sick remixes of classic movie posters. Chris, the What the Fuck Is Up Denny's vocalist, operates AlternateEndingMerch.com. Make sure you check out his store and keep an eye out for new drops on the way. And lastly, if you guys want some Denny's Grand Slam related merch, check out their Big Cartel store where you can find a band shirt with a portrait of the Denny's Grand Slam concert on the back of it. Couldn't think of a better companion piece to this video. So what are you waiting for, folks? Exit through the gift shop. If you guys also want to keep up with the band on social media, I have their links down in the description, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Please just do a browsing of all the links down below. I would really appreciate it. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this video down below in the comments section and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next. I want to give a major shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys. WavyWebSurf out. Peace.